Hi everybody. Last time I was on, I did the Loch Lomond single grain peated, and I know a lot of people got in touch with me, and I've been really impressed with it, as was I. So I'm glad the review went well. I intended to make these blogs and these reviews a bit off the beaten track and not the normal things, and also to do my reviews rather than doing them on various websites or as blogs, but as a live video, so that you can see and you can experience the exact same thing as I'm experienced. So be they good or bad, I'm just going to tell the truth about them, and hopefully we can look at some different things rather than just the norm for everybody. And that's why I've picked this one today. This is the Ben Bracken from Lidl, and I saw it in there today, and I just thought, do you know what? For somebody who is starting their whiskey journey, or doesn't want to fork out a lot of money, they can go on to something like this and start learning the various USPs of the different types of whiskies. And when I saw this, it immediately attracted me to it. The one thing I'm going to say, and having worked with a few companies that have done the miniatures, the packaging is absolutely fantastic. I mean, hats off to Lidl. And again, I'll make a disclaimer here. I don't work for Lidl, I'm not pushing anything, but I really do think the packaging is outstanding stuff. For a start, when you feel it, it's sturdy. Some packaging you get on these miniatures can be a little bit wafery feeling and a bit cheap and nasty, for want of a better word, but the packaging feels good. It looks good. Great outline map of Scotland and the regions and the various areas there. Some great details and information on it. And it just looks nice. And to be brutally honest with you, someone gave it to me, this is a present, I'd be over the moon. And again, when you open the packaging, you can feel that it's nice and well packaged in there. And then these miniatures, when you bring them out, they're even in their own tubes. Now, a lot of companies don't like doing the tubes because of the fact of the packing side of life, and it's the extra cost of doing hand packing. But you've got your individual tubes for each of them, which I think is a really nice touch. And again, really well aimed at somebody who might be on their whiskey journey and starting. And they've picked a fantastic 3 areas. Not that the others aren't any better, but they've picked a Speyside. Again, looks lovely in the red. I think the marketing department, and I normally knock marketing departments for some of their work, the red really does give that synonymous and the feeling of a typical Speyside, which is usually synonymous with your sherry style flavours and your sweeter flavours. The Highland one with this nice vibrant blue colour giving in, and the Isla one in this nice dark, almost British racing green colour. So as far as the packaging goes, I think it's fantastic. I think they've done really well. I know not everybody is buying something before it's packaging, but when you take into account that you've got 3 lovely little tubes of 5cl, you've got this nice packaging, makes a great stocking filler, and I think anybody would be happy with that when they first pulled it out, especially if they weren't what I call the SMS, our single malt snobs. It's something that's different. You have no idea which distilleries have come from, and we'll look at that when we taste it, see if we can maybe get a bit of an inkling, but probably very difficult when you take into account over 50, 60 different Speyside distilleries, dozens of Highland and 50 odd Highland distilleries, and Isla, it could be any one of them again. So it doesn't really matter where it's from, but hopefully it'll give us that familiar taste of where each of them's from. So first and foremost, I'm impressed with the packaging. As I say, I won't have drunk any of these yet. I haven't touched them. This is the first time I've opened them when I opened them tonight. So I think without further ado, we'll move on to the first one, the Speyside, and see what we get from there. So again, we 5cl bottle. Nothing overly fancy about the packaging. We've got information on there. Speyside single malt. All 3 of them, by the way, are only 40%. So nothing too extravagant about them, but nicely packaged. Again, as I said on my previous one, I'm not a great one for colour. It doesn't really worry me if I've got too much colouring in it, but I'll have a look at what we get here. So first one up then is our Speyside. Let's see what we're going to get from this. Well, we've got that initial sweet flavouring that we would expect from a Speyside there. Certainly notes of sherry coming through there, even cherries maybe. There's definitely a distinct flavour of coffee there, maybe a little bit of dark chocolate. Again, that sweet cherry on the nose. Yeah, really nice, really nice. Again, 40%, so nothing amazing coming through it. It's not that powerful. I will add a little bit of water. Remember, a touch of water does release some more flavours for us, so we'll just see what we get, adding a touch of water in there. Yeah, that really is bringing that coffee flavour through that. I'd say dark chocolate rather than anything else. And yeah, releasing those flavours even more so on the nose now. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Again, I don't even want to hazard a guess at what distillery it would come from. You know, it could be from dozens and dozens. It's a nice Speyside dram of 40%. It's pleasant, and I would probably go and buy the bigger brother of 70 cl of that. So let's move on again. The Highland one. Again, nothing fancy about the bottles, but I think they've done a good enough packaging to bring you in initially and look at it. Ooh, that's different. There's almost I'd hasten to say almost a slight peatiness coming from it. I don't think. No, that's the spice. The spice. This sort of spiciness coming through there. That's again, it's 40%. It's nothing outrageous there. It's very pleasant. I would add a bit more in there to just get a bit of a. I can't really. Yeah, I'm getting a. There's something there, but I can't actually get what I'm getting. If that doesn't sound too bad, but it's pleasant. It's nice. I'm going to look on the tasting notes at the end and just see what we've got there, but I think I've got a spiciness coming through, but that's about it. But it's not displeasant on the palate. It's really, really nice. No, nothing amazing coming there through for me. But you know, everybody's tastes are different. You know, when they've got the tasting notes, that's not just one person. That's could be a couple of people's different notes, but nothing nothing really hitting the spot with me, but a very pleasant dram. It's nice. And then the third one, the Isla. So this should hopefully straight away hit me on the nose and on the palate. It should have something in there, and hopefully should be extremely recognisable to something that we all know. Oh, instantly, yeah. So there we have got that smoky peat. It's not too over heavy, by the way. So it's not going to be any of our big hitters, like our Lagavulins or our Ardbegs or Lefroy. Certainly nothing overpowering there. It's an awful lot more darker than the other two. I'm certainly getting the almost spice, saltiness, and certainly the peaty smokiness we'd expect. Let's see what we've. Well, that's really good. Yeah, that's really, really good. Again, 40%, so not overpowering at all on spirit, but really a lot of flavours coming through there. For your novice or your starter, as I say, somebody who's starting their whiskey journey, you would know that you had 3 different distinctive flavours there, and you would be able to instantly recognise this. And when somebody told you it was quite a smoky, earthy flavour, it's certainly a few spicy coming through there. I mean, you've been bordering on maybe, something from Kalila maybe, I don't know. It's, again, I'm not really worried about where the distillery is, and it's not a case of guessing or anything else. It's just the fact that you can understand the difference and the USP that each of those areas have, and for the price range, which we'll come on to. Yeah, very good. So let's have a look at what the tasting notes say. So with our Highland, it's telling us we've got cherries, pecan pie, chocolate. Okay, fine. That's a few things that are coming through there. With our Speyside, nuances of vanilla, honey, cinnamon, cream caramel, coffee latte. Okay. And with our Isla, sea salt, chocolate, black toffee. Okay, fine. Again, everybody to their own on the flavours, on the taste there. But overall, as 3 drams, not one of those would I have knocked back and said no, thank you, sir. Really good. Tasting pack like this, $7.95. The big brothers of each of those, so the 70cl bottles, I think. The non-age statement one, I think, was $14 or $15.99. I think the 16-year-old was $17.99 or something. So certainly not something that would be break the bank, or if you wanted to, as I say, start your journey, perfect place to start without having to go out and spend 30, 40, 50 pound on an individual bottle of each of those regions, giving you 150 odd pound expenditure. You could easily spend, by the looks of it, 30, 35 pound in Lidls, and you've got all 3 regions there. So certainly something to look at. Remember when I said before, you've got to look out. I look at Lidls and some of the supermarkets now a little bit in the same light as the independents. They're bringing out their own whiskies under their own names, and I think Lidl have done a fantastic job. I'm going to start doing these more regular It's a case of I'm going to do something different, something out of the extremes, maybe not many of the well-known names, just to bring something in to bring forward those people that want to start enjoying and finding out more about whiskies, and something that's not going to have to break your bank each time. So hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, then I'm going to start doing a few more, as I said, on the YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll see where it goes from there. Take care, guys. Good night.